District 19, but I learned today that we have one. Please. So this is a major announcement for you, ladies and gentlemen. We have District 19 candidate for the Senate.
Hi, my name is Bonar. I am running for District 19 against Mike Gabbard, which a lot of you are familiar with, and a lot of you are familiar with. So thank you for letting me speak with you. I wrote it all down because I didn't want to go too long, but I'll try not to bore you. It's time. That's really what it's about. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm putting myself forward as a candidate. I've not been in politics before. Well, that's not quite true. I've never been a candidate before. I've never stepped up in front. I've never exposed myself and my family to what's going on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me so you know what brought me here. I started as an analyst at the CIA, not the kind of place where you look for exposure. I tracked markets and arms sales. What I did was look for hidden money and corruption. That was my job. They taught me how. Okay? After that, because my eyes weren't open enough, I contracted with Federal Protective Service, spent my time guarding federal judges, U.S. attorneys, senators and their staffs, and then got to see firsthand in our own government where all that corruption and graft was going. I couldn't take it anymore, went into business for myself. Operated a successful small business for 6 years, went through the difficult years, celebrated the good years, made the kind of decisions that anyone who's had a business understands. You have those that you regret even while you're doing them, even when you know you have no better option, because sometimes there just isn't any money. I have all this background, all this knowledge, and until now I really did very little with it. I held my nose, voted for the guy who offended me the least, the one who didn't really agree with me but wasn't likely to attack me. And that just isn't good enough anymore. It's just not going to work. Our whole country, and this state in particular, are at the beginning of disaster that we have been building up for 50 years. It's past time even to deal with it. It's time for me to quit preaching at my radio and complaining to my friends, step up and start doing the things I know are necessary. So this year, I just want some, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but we faced a $1.2 billion shortfall in our state, right? With very few exceptions, our legislators decided that they were going to take care of this by voting tax increases. All of them. Not a single piece of legislation to increase the size of the pie, all of them to change how the pieces were cut up. All right? Let me give you a little bit of perspective. There's $1.2 billion, 1.2 million people living here. That means they took $1,000 for every one of us. Man, woman, child, infant, elderly, everybody. They took $1,000 away from all the people who already live here. Okay? Worse, they raid the hurricane fund. They assure us that as long as we don't have a hurricane, we're going to be fine. We live in an ocean. I'm sorry, but it doesn't seem like a sound policy to me. So speaking of our deficit, talking about numbers, let me give you a really quick rundown how the CIA trains an analyst, okay? In brief, look for the bottom line, okay? Since we passed zero legislation and $1.2 billion were covered, $1.2 billion were taken. Even if you hide the money, split it up, put it into taxes, shuffle it around, borrow the money, $1.2 billion came out of our economy. So how do we deal with it? Told a friend of mine I was considering for running for office. He said how I thought the state government could help our economy. My answer was short. How about we don't? How about we don't? How about we stop trying to find a way to spend other people's money wisely? How about we stop taking their money in the first place and let them figure out what to do with it, even if they want to waste it? Okay, why don't we tax less, remove senseless obstacles, get on with doing the things we should be doing, providing infrastructure, dealing with crime. We certainly have plenty of other things to occupy our attention. We can have a meth epidemic, we can deal with the homeless problem, we got outdated sewers, we have Waikiki's infrastructure falling down, we have hundreds of legitimate things we could be spending our time on besides trying to take other people's money and figure out what to do with it. So, we have 25 senators, right? Maybe we would be better served if they spent less time talking and started spending more time listening. There's been a lot of talk about rights lately with 444. I'll tell you, I am a pro-rights guy. I believe in rights, but I also, and more importantly, believe in responsibility. It's time we started meeting hours. Quit passing our problems off to next year, the next session, the next generation. It's time we dealt with it. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.